Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
As the ADC is basking in the euphoria of INEC recognizing their new leadership, so many of their key stakeholders have emerged talking about a lot of things as it has to do with the party. First in the list, Dele Momodu took out time to talk about the G3 situation in APC right now, that ADC is trying to build its strong base and all of that. You're going to listen to exactly what he had to tell Nigerians to expect in 2027. Also, another key stakeholder, a veteran actor, politician Kenneth Okonkwo, has finally talked about his relationship with Peter Obi, and you get to hear who his loyalty actually lies with right now. All of that detail is coming to us in a GB. But first of all, let's look at what Dele Momodu has to say about, the situation of things right now, that the INEC has recognized the leadership in ADC. According to the publisher, Dele Momodu, he has accused the ruling party of stifling the opposition, claiming that the All Progressive Congress APC is G3 ahead of the 2027 general election. Momodu, a member of the opposition coalition African Democratic Congress ADC, spoke today accusing the ruling party of sowing seed of discord in opposition parties. In his word, he says, it's obvious that the ruling party is G3. The ruling party does not want any strong competition in 2027 in particular. They are not too bothered about the governors and the rest of them, but they want a sole candidate if possible. All political parties will rise up and endorse one man, and that is the president and commander-in-chief. His comment came after the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, recognized the ADC National Working Committee led by the former Senate President David Mark and ex-Osun State Governor Ralph Aregbesola as secretary. Momodu says he's not surprised by some persons who have faulted the move, notably a former presidential candidate of the ADC, Domebi Kachuku. In his words, Dele Momodu says, so I was not surprised yesterday when the news broke again that these guys are on their way to court. We all know that what is going on. There's nothing wrong with anybody going to court. If you are aggrieved, well, unfortunately, they should have known that the convener of ADC worked extremely hard behind the scene to arrive at where we are right now. They took their time. They knew the government agent would attempt to thwart their effort like they have done in Labour Party, like they have done in PDP, and they are doing in NNPP, creating factions everywhere. That was exactly the position of Dele Momodu. Also, in a related development, veteran actor and politician Kenneth Okonkwo has dismissed speculations of a rift between former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, insisting that his loyalty lies with the African Democratic Congress ADC ahead of the 2027 election. Speaking today, Okonkwo reiterated his stance ahead of the ADC presidential primaries. He pledged to stand firm behind the party's candidate regardless of who emerges. In his word, he says, whoever wins the election of ADC in the presidential primary, I would support. Okonkwo also emphasized that he holds no grudge against Obi, with whom he worked closely in the 2023 general election under the Labour Party before parting ways. In his word, he says, I don't have any personal problems with my brother Peter Obi. He said, stressing that his decision to align with the ADC was based on principles and party loyalty rather than personal disagreement. In his word, he said, and when they come into the primaries, whoever wins, they will be the support base that would have formed from the zone that will help him to win the general election. Winning the primary election does not make you president. The most important thing is the general election. No personal reason. I made it clear that the Labour Party is our base. Whatever happens to that party has happened to our alliance. I have told you that whoever wins the ADC presidential primaries, I will support. Yes, but I have told you that if the Labour Party was the foundation of our relationship, we met each other in the Labour Party. Obi is no longer there. So going forward, there will be a new arrangement and you have the right to decide what you will do going forward. Kenneth Okonkwo. Just hear what he has to say. Remind me, make I feel without
within the
Progressive Congress, by whatever name called, is now a curse on this country. Look at all the things that are going on in Nigeria. Where is your president? Vacationing in France. People are dying in Zamfara, dying in Katsina. He said he's going on vacation.
No, it was work leave.
Work
He
leave.
said work leave.
There is no place in Nigeria that you can attract tourism where you can work. Look at what is going on with NEPA. Okay, now, our educational system, ASU is threatening to go on strike. Telling you the instability in the educational system. The doctors and nurses are on strike or threatening to go on strike. Telling you the instability going on in the healthcare. You just told me what is happening in the oil industry. Nupeng, this, going on strike. Telling you the instability in oil industry. Look at the contractors. Since 2024, they have not been paid. Telling you the risk that is going on in our infrastructural development. A country that the education, the healthcare, and the infrastructure are in problem is a country in distress. We have more malnourished children now in Nigeria than in Sudan. Can't you see that a woman, the child died because she couldn't afford transport to take the child to the hospital because of malaria? People are suffering. People are dying. And this president is vacationing in Paris, wearing the best of suits, laughing at the suffering of Nigerians. So God should save us from APC.
Just one moment. Are you saying then that if the presidential candidate of your party, as will emerge, should clinch it in 2027, that person will never go on leave in 4 years?
Tinubu has spent more time, almost, abroad than in Nigeria. When did he return from the last one?
That hasn't answered my question.
No. What I'm saying is, I cannot speak for any other person, but I can tell you that most serious presidents with the problems Nigeria have, I don't see them vacationing in foreign countries, promoting the tourism of that foreign countries.
I think it's a...
Kenneth Okonkwo, the politician from Southeast, from the discourse today clearly showed that he is now a professional politician. And the issue of interest is most important to him. Some few days ago when he was talking, he talked about pitching his tent with the northern part of the country. And that was kind of one-sided, considering the fact that ADC is looking for a particular politician and is looking for a politician that they will unanimously support. But then, when he was talking last time, he made his choice very clear. But a lot of castigation came against him as though he had some issues with Peter Obi. But if you listen to this particular interview, you will notice something, that he was very, very professional. And that professionalism is one thing that will give Peter Obi an edge. Standing as a Southeasterner with someone like Atiku Abubakar points to one's direction, that you don't even care about the outcome of the ADC primaries. It was looking as though he wants his supporters, especially people who really, support him, to give their vote and support to Atiku Abubakar. But this time around, he says whoever that emerges at the end of the day, as ADC candidate, presidential candidate, we will give him the required support for him to come out successful. And I think that is what is right now very, very important. But I feel also that the issue of zoning should be paramount right now. Zoning will help to keep Nigeria in tune with the unwritten constitution that, democracy right now is running with. We know this is the turn of the South. If we can clarify this truth, if we can come to terms with this truth, it will help a great deal. Because you just imagine if, for example, it happens that today, at the end of the day, maybe any other political party wins and we come back in 2031. It is now the turn of the North. All of a sudden, Southerners fill the whole place in ADC and in other political parties trying to wrestle power from a northern candidate and all of that. It's a pointer to a foreseen failure. You understand? A foreseen failure, because imagine we're trying to follow the rhythm of political prepositions, political alignment. We're trying to give a position. We're trying to follow what is prescribed by the other unwritten constitution. And you here, instead of flowing with the wind, you are flowing, against the wind. There's no way you can make progress. And that is why even in 2015, when Buhari came on board, when it was 2019, a lot of people didn't even bother. Those who have presidential interests, who were from the south, they didn't even bother about it because they knew that this was the turn of the North. And I think that should be respected. If ADC decides to choose a northerner to run this show, it would be a case of running against the tide. And I tell you the truth that the Nigerian people will not support it, because you're trying to break what has already been established and run with for as long as now. Let's meet our conversation.